I want to leap over buildings, want to fly over the shores, faster than a lightning flash, rushing through the cool night air. So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero. With fearless thoughts, emotions swirled, I wanna be the man that saves the world. So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero.
I'm James Kirk,
I'm Ichi Hoya,
and you're watching simnews.tv.
Today I am proud to be able to talk to you about the FSIM 2.0, the next cockpit from iSimRS. So, without further ado, let's have a look at what's new and what's changed. The FSIM 2.0 features a nose on a sliding rail for on-the-go adjustment, a newly introduced fully adjustable headrest for your comfort. The wheel and pedal boards are fully adjustable, making sure they fit you perfectly and are pre-drilled for all of the latest hardware. The cockpit supports up to triple screen monitor setups without the worry of wobble or vibration. The FSIM 2.0 puts you in the Formula Racing position for that unique driving experience. Head over to iSimRS.com to find out more and pre-order now and get £100 off of the recommended retail price. Only available at iSimRS.com.
Hello and welcome everybody to the GPVWC Academy Series here at round 2 here at a very, very wet China here this evening. As I say, we've got a new face here joining me in the commentary box. You know, he's a man with quite a bit of experience in the past, but it's been away for a little while commentating in general, but we thought we'd bring him out of retirement, get a bit of rest of him. It is Chris de Jong. Welcome,
yeah, I
Chris.
suppose so.
How are you?
I'm pretty fine, thank you very much. Your description is very accurate, to say the least. A little bit awkward as well, but that's all okay. We're here indeed in China, and it's in a wet circuit, and we're with the Academy Series, which will probably promise a lot of action on the track. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's going to be quite action packed tonight. I think
it's going to be lovely.
Who's going to be experiencing new things, certainly. Many of these probably never driven in the wet before, or maybe not.
Indeed, and that's why, you know, at the very beginning, we're getting to experience the guys that are pretty novice, but yet again, if they are standing out in terms of track conditions in the wet, they might, you know, raise some eyebrows.
Potentially so.
Yeah.
So big thanks first of all for obviously ACR for supporting the series as long as they have now. Obviously done a great job getting this all up and running and run for as long as it has.
Yeah,
Obviously,
definitely.
support
Chris Cobb, Michi, love you.
and also to our iSimRS as well. You may have seen the intro video there at the start of the broadcast. They've just launched a new product as well very recently as well. They're the version 2, and it does look like a fabulous product. I tried out the version 1 out in December, and it's really comfortable product. They've just launched their second version now, and it's worth checking out in more detail, particularly through our YouTuber Mad Otter Ian Berryman. He is actually going to review the product in more detail in the upcoming days and weeks, and you'll be able to see it in its entirety as well. But I say it's a pleasure to be here once again. We say we've got about at the moment 24 cars on the server. We're expecting a few more people actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
But for some reason, that some people have not showed up for whatever reason. Expect about 35 or 36 cars, but 24 out on track, and we're in qualifying at the moment. You know, at just over 9 minutes to go.
Indeed, but it's still quite busy on the track though.
There's still gonna be a lot of action, that is for sure.
Yeah.
As I just
So at the moment, a 1:58.101 is the fastest time out there. But the track conditions might, go down the drain. Might, get more positive. But it's a dice game at this moment. And even if you're out on track, it's no guarantee that you're gonna improve your position.
That's it. I think for a lot of these guys, it's going to be just the experience of getting as many laps under the board as they can and try and feel the way around the conditions. The track conditions at the moment is currently 93% wet on the circuit, so
yeah, but that's pretty wet.
Sim conditions, yeah. So
that's wetter than any porn star on Pornhub, or is that not allowed to say? Well, it's out there.
Not really, Chris, but we can't rewind the clock, unfortunately, now, Chris, unfortunately.
Oh, fair enough. I'll hold back.
But just to say, currently pole position, he's just actually crossed the line. Actually, Philip Koenig just gone across the line of 157.
Yeah. He has got a black spot beside his name. Does he have a black flag, maybe? Cutting the track?
Not that I can see.
Do you have it as well?
No, not on my screen at all. It looks fine to me. But
well, he is quite severely fast at the moment, but it's a matter of opportunity at the moment. Peter Millar going into the pits, maybe going into a fresh set of tires. I mean, because the track is wet, it doesn't have to mean that your tires aren't overheating, because if you're not gripping correctly, your rear tires would just overheat because you're slipping. You're just, grinding your rears, and you're just overheating your tires severely. The trick in wet driving, of wet racing, is to not put a lot of pressure on the tires as you want to. You have to be careful, otherwise you're going to overheat and burn your tires.
There's a very good chance of that because everyone's slipping and sliding us around, as you say. A provisional pole now, Makaishik on provisional pole by just over a tenth and a half, 57.4 from him ahead now of Koenig.
They're just going quicker and quicker, and as you just said, that Rodrigo Carvalho is putting up a 57.322 on the. It's going. The track conditions are improving every lap. It can go quicker, and it's just going to be a lottery now. 6.5 minutes to go, and who will be the last guy to go out on a fresh set of tires? That's the question, basically.
And will the weather stop as well? Well, it's easing off a little bit now, the rain, but I say the track is still 93% wet. Philip Koenig in third position. It's Harry Graham in P4 at the moment. He's got himself a Super Cup drive.
Yeah. Ooh, and a lot of changes going on into the top as well. 56.7 is now the best time. Like I just said, the track conditions are improving, and this is just a proof of that matter. It's just going to deteriorate further and further in terms of lap times. Maybe in 5 minutes times, we will be into the 54 mark.
Potentially, yeah. And if you're watching this broadcast on YouTube, and welcome to everyone who's actually watching this race, wherever you are watching in the world, I say if you wanted to sign up to this series, we have our next round is in March the 19th in Australia, which a lot of people are looking forward to doing that. You can sign up on our GPVWC.com you'll be able to get on the grid next time. It's up to 40 cars can race around this circuit. And say it's great for all you newcomers out there. You might be watching this thinking, "Oh, I'd like to see do a bit of that one day," and get out there and show my skills to everyone on YouTube and in the community in general.
Exactly.
And maybe get yourself a career at GPV. But I say this is a brilliant starting point for everyone who's watching this at home.
Just download the mod, see if you can compare your own lap times with the lap times that are putting up now, and see if you're fast enough. And maybe if you're fast enough, you know, download the mod and sign up for real. At the moment, Giuseppe Saraconi is the fastest guy with 56.7 at the time being, but that's definitely going to be improved. It's just a matter of time to see who is the guy able to do it. Philip Koenig is going on to a long way. Let's see what he makes of the third sector.
Just seeing if anyone is improving their lap times. Harry Graham's just crossed the line and gone 0.6 quicker, but remains in 5th at the moment. I can't see anyone else who's really improving at this moment in time. It looks like a small improvement for Alistair Khan. He's a reserve driver this year in Santa Motorsports and maybe already getting promoted to a full-time seat potentially, but a contract has not been signed yet. He's currently going 0.2 quicker at the moment. He's currently in 9th position.
Well, we have to realize the intention of this race is to let these drivers, these novice drivers, get into the spotlight because they haven't gotten any, you know, severe racing experience online. And then again, we see a lot of difference in the timesheets according to lap times being accumulated, but also a lot of people that haven't even gotten a lap time in whilst they've tried. So, you know, it's fair to keep a blank eye on the performance here.
I'm just reading the chat, and then I see a couple of people there who maybe don't have the game. It's Rfactor 2. That's the game you would need to play this game. It's the best
Lovely
simulator game you can possibly get. A lot of people think it's F1 2018. Trust me, this is the place to go for some great feeling. You know, if you want to be as realistic as possible.
If you want arcade stuff, you gotta have F1 2018. If you want real racing simulation, if you want real physics, you buy Rfactor 2. That's the simple matter.
Just looking at some times, Max Scholten's had a big improvement there actually. He's currently up to 7th place. He's actually on the intermediate tyres, so he's actually scrabbling around for grip. And the track's still sodden, so if the track does dry out, which I can't see, it's only 2.5 minutes to go.
He's on the track, we are not, so I'm sure that he has some logic behind his reasoning.
He's obviously been commenting.
Let's see what he does.
Spinned out. Looks like he's spun out of turn 5 there. He's in P14 at the moment. He's just rejoining the track nice and safe. He's just had a little bit of a spin, as does Anastopoulos in P18 there as well. He's had a spin, rejoined right in front of Philip Schiffer and Brandon Dollar there as well. That's a bit of a dodgy.
Well, we got 2 minutes left on the board. The leader, Giuseppe Saraconi, is just heating up his tires. He's going for his last stint right now, but he is 2/10 behind, in front of the number 2. But then again, the number 10 is 2.5 seconds behind him. So the gaps are severe in this session, you know, and it has all to do with the wet weather. And if it might stick into the race conditions, we will see a very opportunistic race, to say the least.
1.5 minutes to go here. 25 cars, and everyone at the moment is on the racetrack at this moment in time. And we've got a 23 lap race coming up this evening around China. So quite a long race for these guys. You know, this car in its Formula Challenge state would only do 14 laps around here. So 23
definitely.
laps.
I mean, 23 laps. They have to keep concentrated. You know, that's a lot of things to bear for these guys. It has to be, you know, the guy that has to put on all the edges and all the dots on every point in order to make this thing work. And at the moment, Giuseppe Saraconi is looking to be the most brilliant one. He's going into Sector 1 now, putting up purple sectors, in my belief.
He's on
and
fire,
he's going out there. He's trying to improve his pole position time at the moment.
So it's just a temp down on his best time. But I tell you, he was a man who really impressed last time out in Mexico. And impressing again here on provisional pole at the moment. So he's very brave
Yeah.
on the curb there, isn't he? He could have very
He is
spun off
looking
there, but he's
fast.
looking really good.
Oh, but there goes Rodrigo Carvalho. 56.752. 17 thousandths quicker than Giuseppe Saraconi. But it's still his time out, so it's going to be a tense battle here for pole position.
That's what literally the checker flag's going to come out any second now. But it's all like confidence at this stage. You know, if you've done quite a few laps on the track's actually getting wetter at the moment. Actually, it's 94%, but it's all about confidence at the moment.
Number 4 place, Harry Graham into the pits. Max Scholten, number 6 place, into the pits. Not a lot of these front runners are out on the track. Philippe Koenig just screwed up his lap. So it's pure on Saraconi's behalf to get his pole position. He's in the last sector now. He has to make up a lot of work in order to make this work. There we go. What do you think? Will he make this stick? Last corner now. He is careful, but will he make it for pole position? Rodrigo Carvalho between Sarah and it's Carvalho. Carvalho takes the lead here.
Tell you, as one man who's made up a load of time. I've just seen it was Karsten van Elk actually as well. He was really on fire. I can't exactly find where he is on the standings at the moment, but he was running in 13th. Where did he jump up to? He must have jumped up because he was about 2.5 seconds up on his time. There he is. Goes across the line right now, 13th place. And he actually stays there. Okay, that was interesting. I thought he was much. He must have made a mistake sometime in the final sector.
Well, the wet conditions are playing a huge part into this qualifying. I'm bet you sure, David.
Yeah. Oh, Mikhailchik goes.
Ooh! Holy moly! Where did that came from? It's a matter of thousands of seconds.
And these wet conditions as well. It's so impressive. The top 3 separated by 0.039 of a second there. That is ridiculously close. Khan crosses the line now. He jumps up from 12th to 7th as well. Still 1.2 off the pace.
Well, let's see what the rest can do. Adam Slade is crossing the finish line now, being P8 at the moment. He's going to jump to P6. At least he improved. Milan Rajakovic is still driving, but he aborted his lap. And the leader of this race, who already had pole position, is still going on. But I think we have our starting grid here, David, don't we?
Yeah, that's pretty much done. So Bartlomiej Mikhailchik takes the pole position here at China under very, very difficult conditions. That is really, really impressive.
Difficult to say the least. The conditions were troubling. They were severe. They were horrible.
So yeah, 25 people taking part in this evening's race. And I say it's going to be very challenging. Even though we probably got less numbers than we expected, it's definitely still going to be an interesting event indeed. And I'll run you down the grid when we get onto the formation lap for the race. But I say it has been an interesting session. I'll say that quite a wide spread of times. You know, you've got a few people really struggling in these wet conditions, judging by the times there. But you know, the top 7 separated by 8.5 tenths, and 2 seconds covering the top 11 drivers there. So bear in mind, a lot of these drivers have not driven in this car in the wet before. Quite an impressive achievement.
Maybe they have, but they're just bad. You never know. I mean, it's not really. I mean, let's be realistic. But then again, yeah, no, it's all good. I do hope though that the starting conditions of this race are rather drier than they are now, because in qualify, everyone has their own lap that they can, you know, decide how fast they are. But I'm sure that if these wet conditions are going to stick into the start of this race, you know, we're not going to see 25 finishers. We're not going to see 20 finishers. We might see 15 finishers because things are going to get down in the first corners. The first corner in China, it's a 270-degree corner, you know, followed by another 120-degree corner. It's insane.
It's very, very difficult, and turn 1 is going to be eventful, and we'll try our best to keep our
eventful to say the least. That's an understatement, David.
So let's just see what is going on. So also coming up on this Friday at 9:30, we have the Overcut, hosted by Lee Davison as well. You know, running through all things about Super League. What's coming season? Because I say, of course, our first league racing is actually March the 6th, which will be Formula Challenge. It's getting closer, everybody. You know, it's going to be a really fascinating 2019. All the series will be really, really close and really, really intriguing. That's for sure. And we still don't know. There's a lot of gossip around of all the series. Who's looking good? Who's looking not so good? Who's going to bounce their way up? Obviously, got the new Super League Light series as well. That's completely new to a lot of those managers, as well as Formula Challenge. A lot of new teams coming in there as well. It is going to be really, really intriguing to see what happens in Australia, but B, what progress the teams make during the year as well. As the cars now come up for a 10-minute warm-up session as well. Normally at this time, wherever I'm commentating with Chris, I normally ask for their predictions for the race. I'll say it's going to be a wet start. There's no denying that. Who do you? Was there anyone that session that you thought, yeah, they look really solid?
I don't have any reference with any of these drivers because this is the first time I've commentated any race in 1.5 years. But then again, I mean, the starting grid is a good, perspective out of how the race will fall out. I'm sure there will be some starting crashes happening because the conditions are so tricky, but we'll just have to see, I mean, the pole position is, steadily obtained by I'm not going to even pretend that name. Bartolomej Mijaskovic, the Polish Kurva guy, taking pole position by 2 hands. But, it's all about who has the best start. We're going to see how the start plays out. It's going to be an eventful event.
It is for sure. And for those who have just joined the stream, thank you for watching. 43 of you watching now on YouTube. And I hope you're enjoying the event so far. And if you've got any questions, I'll be keeping an eye on the chat as well, so you'll be able to see about what is going on this evening. Fingers crossed. Sure. I say, if you are watching, as I said earlier, if you are watching this and you're thinking, oh, that does look a bit tasty, I'd like to have a career at GPV, or you just want to fancy driving something new, sign up on the website. And how you do that is you'd actually sign into gpvwc.com, then you enter your dashboard, then go to your driver market page, and then you'll see a selection there, a drop-down menu of the series that we do. If you click the Academy series and submit, that'll enter you to the race. And I'll say the next. Or
just download the mod and compare your own lap times compared to the guys that, just put it up the lap times that they just did, and see if you're better. Contact the teams and say, hey, I'm a much better driver than that guy, Isn't that right, David?
They're all better than me.
No, I'm not comparing to you, but, we encourage competition here at GPW. And we want you to try this mod, and we want you to participate into online sim racing. What's there to love more?
I say it's going to be a fascinating event, of course. And as I said, it was a shame a few people didn't show up. It was about 10 or 12 I expected to turn up, and they said they was turning up today, but for whatever reason, it's like.
But don't be so sad, David. I mean, 24 people did showed up.
Yeah, that's good. It's still going to be a great event.
We're going to have a great race on our hands.
That's it. But I think as well, we said earlier about the conditions and who's looking good. I literally think whoever's got the most confidence in these conditions and can push the car the most without sliding off, they'll make a bundle time. It could be literally someone in the mid-pack who comes through to win this race because they might just be more confident in the track, because of course 23 laps as well around this circuit. We expect a pit stop at some point. We're not sure how these wet tyres are going to handle for 23 laps, but we do actually expect a pit stop.
Let me tell you this. Let me ask you this: are the drivers obliged to a pit stop? Is a pit stop, necessary?
They don't have to. No, they don't have to.
They don't have to. Okay, so it's going to be a Leclerc situation 2018 in Bahrain.
Potentially.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's see. But I do see that a lot of these drivers have gone, opportunistic in terms of the livery. They've copied a lot of the new liveries of the F1 2019 season liveries.
Yeah, I must say, a lot of the liveries in GPV, we've looked at, a lot of people here have looked at the designs that have been launched this year. There is some fabulous looking liveries across all the series this year, and it's going to be a very, very colourful and exciting season for sure. And hopefully, we see a lot more great stories come up from the season. As I say, it's still absolutely pouring with rain here. It's still 94% wet still, and still very much. Most people are on the wet tire. A couple of people are still experimenting on the intermediates, which might be a risk worth taking potentially, particularly if it stops raining beforehand. I was just seeing one car.
Yeah, we don't know the background story of a lot of these drivers. I mean, I'm honestly thinking that if I might have joined with my keyboard, I could have stand a chance in the top 10 position, but probably not. But these guys are definitely aiming for a top position. They are trying severely, and hopefully they can get into the spotlights on giving them a good, chance into the higher divisions.
That is it, and it's a great stepping stone because, as I say, last year when I did a lot of commentary, there were some guys I commentated on. Yeah. Last year they did 1 or 2 races, and they managed to eventually get into the very high top end league, Super League, and a lot of people went into Super Cup.
Exactly.
Well.
I mean, talent can be spotted easily, but it's just the right guidance that the right talent needs in order to, prevail. And you have to acknowledge that, and you have to, see that. But these are the opportunities for these guys in order to set themselves into the spotlights.
It's going to be. So it's certainly definitely a chance for an opportunity for somebody here today to really showcase themselves and maybe get snapped up. Because, of course, the top 2 from this race who have not got a contract with a team, they're entitled to race in the race in Australia for the Academy team run by Menno Klont, a great member of the community here at GPVWC. You get then the opportunity then to race the Formula Challenge race on March the 6th. With all the Formula Challenge drivers there as well, including my 2 drivers.
Yeah, well, if you have Menno Klont on your side, then you're sure to have a great future in GPVW. Isn't that right, Menno? I'm sure you're watching now and you're like, that's right. Everyone knows.
We are just going to play an advert now, advertising the great iSimRS.com, fabulous members there, and we are now just going to play a video.
Yeah, we'll do that
right now.
Today I am proud to be able to talk to you about the FSIM 2.0, the next cockpit from iSimRS. So, without further ado, let's have a look at what's new and what's changed. The FSIM 2.0 features a nose on a sliding rail for on-the-go adjustment, a newly introduced fully adjustable headrest for your comfort. The wheel and pedal boards are fully adjustable, making sure they fit you perfectly and are pre-drilled for all of the latest hardware. The cockpit supports up to triple screen monitor setups without the worry of wobble or vibration. The FSIM 2.0 puts you in the Formula Racing position for that unique driving experience. Head over to iSimRS.com to find out more and pre-order now and get £100 off of the recommended retail price. Only available at iSimRS.com.
Welcome back, everybody. And I say, a fabulous product, the iSimRS, and the version 2 as well. Looks really nice. And of course, the great thing about it as well, if, for example, you bought a rig like that, it's also adjustable completely as well. So you all your friends could go in. It's great for also sim racing events and all sorts. It is really, really fabulous product. And I say it's a pleasure to be able to see one of these in action, as the grid now is all being sorted out by our race director here, Chris Williamson, this evening. He's done a great job as always. He's a real advocate for this this league. He's put so much hard work over the last few months getting all the leagues ready, and his work has been extremely valuable to get everything all sorted here for 2019, and what everything he's done in the past as well. So it's much appreciated. That is for sure.
Yeah. And it's
times
work
at
that's
6-0.
often being taken for granted. But find yourself being qualified in P6 and starting P8. You're going kind of screaming across the chat that something is not wrong. But then again, he made it possible that stuff like that didn't happen for years. So really a professional guy.
So we're just about to tick over to the race. So 25 cars taking part this evening, and hopefully everybody will at least get round the first lap. Fingers crossed. But
it's gonna be an eventful first lap. Trust me. The first 3 laps of the first 3 corners are gonna be full of mayhem. It's all about if the first guys will have a bad start. If some people in like P4, 5, 6 have a bad start, they spin around. It's gonna have a domino effect in between the back. But we'll see. Maybe everyone has a good start and everyone makes it through the first lap. It's gonna be an eventful race. At least there isn't any dry condition in the terms that the weather is going to be predictable. It's going to be an hell of an spinning race, and we're going to see the best of it.
Well, fingers crossed, as I believe the session is now going to tick over any second now. Fingers crossed, as everyone's probably just been preparing in warm-up, just trying to get a bit more of a feel for the rain. Because it's still raining now. It's not getting any drier whatsoever.
Well, that's getting worse.
That's right. They should have brought their like a boat more than anything rather than the cars, really, because they really need it. They just need some buoyancy tires more than the wet tires at the moment. But we're just going to tick over now.
Oh, there we go.
It
seems drier now, though.
The rain will kick in. It takes up to between 30 seconds and a minute for the rain to kick in. So it will rain any minute.
Fair enough.
Now, and I hope all the people in the chat will hopefully all enjoy the race as much as we do as well. So everyone's just lining up on the grid as we speak.
We're getting ready.
It's going to be nerve-wracking for a lot of these guys who may never have driven at GPV before. I've got a lot of these people actually signed up to the event.
Mm-hmm.
They probably wasn't expecting this to be a thing, all the wet weather, but it's a great experience for these guys, and I really hope they take something from this race, and hopefully, if they do well, have a great career. As Carsten Van Alkens just left the race actually for whatever reason.
Yeah, we already have our first retirement. Well, there we have a warming up lap. As you said, as you told us, the rain is kicking in 30 seconds later. We're in our warm up lap now. And basically it's about getting your temperatures up to, working parameters. But I'm sure that probably something is going to get wrong in this warm-up lap. Someone is going to have a conflict with someone.
I think you went for...
but probably. It's academy, so mind the gap.
I'll run you through the whole grid for you. So we got on pole position, bottom edge, Makashiak. He'll be starting from pole position, having none of the spray, hopefully. Alongside him, Rodrigo Carvalho has been impressing me more and more. And a great second place on the grid there. Giuseppe Charicchino will start this race in P3. He had a great run in Mexico. And hopefully, judging by here, he'll have a good run here as well. Alongside him, Philip Koenig in P4. Harry Graham in P5. He will be aggressive as ever, and hopefully have a nice race here as well. Again, he did well at Mexico. P6, he's actually dropped back a little bit in his pack. Adam State, new to GPVWC, I believe. He has done a great performance, actually. So hopefully for him, he'll have a nice, clean event at least, and have a good experience here today. Max Scholten, P7. Is he still... He's still on the intermediates. So he's going to be risking it for a biscuit. That is for sure. P7 here this evening. I see a couple of cars, as I'm stating, actually just go off the circuit completely. But yeah, he'd be starting from intermediates, Max Shelton. P8 is Alistair Khan. He'd be starting on the wet tyre. Philip Schiff in P9, with alongside him will be Chris Mirchik. Duran Chris Mirchik there. Tito Tony from Peru. He's starting this race in P11. Alongside him will be Brandon Dollar, the American. Milan Rakovic will be starting row 7, P13. Alongside him, you got Bart Slobodzian. Peter Ongiemi will be starting P15. Alongside him is Spaniard Francis Cabrera, a returning member to GPV. He used to race, I think, back in 2015 was the last time he raced. So it's good to see him back. Peter Miller will start race on 17th place ahead. Alongside him will be Mikhail Tukaj. Piotr Adamczyk will start P19 as he just runs on the grass there. Alongside him is the bit of a mouthful of a name, Nikos Anastapoulos. He's starting P20. Oliver Stilver, P21. Alongside him, Ewan McLeod. And Philippe Fiakoski, P23. And the last man on the grid who struggled a lot in qualifying, he's just crashed into the back. Oh, Fiakoski, a huge smash there, but it didn't... I would have damaged his car for sure, but luckily kept his front wing. That is a big smash there.
Yeah, I thought something was going to go down on the warm-up lap, or on the formation lap.
As you could see.
Yet again, we are all lined up and it's going to get down here. The first race of the year. I'm really tense about this. And aren't you guys at home as well? This is going to be something special here.
I've just seen as well, Koenig starting from the pit lane as well. He's just gone to the end of the pits.
Yeah.
Just waiting here now for the lights to go out here for the start. I say we've got a damaged car at the back. Fiakoski's definitely got damage. He was crabbing up to the line, so he's going to be in big, big trouble, I believe, as well.
There we go. It's a wet start.
Just waiting now for the lights. I don't think someone's lined up.
Yeah,
properly.
it's waiting time. We're still waiting for the lights to come on. Someone is not being lined up properly.
I think I can see the problem. It's Carvalho. I think you can see him on the broadcast, but he's actually sort of juddering a little bit on the front row there, and he's sort of shaking. And I think it's not. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's just the.
Well, this must be agonizing for the guys up front and any guys in the line.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. Though we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're off in Academy 2019. What a great start from P2 here. And oh, they crash into each other. They make contact, but then again, they let each other live. Holy moly, what a start here in the Academy class. Everyone makes
contact
it
on the
through.
back. Contact P13. Dollar. Anyan Jemmy there as well. A huge pile-up.
Oh, jeez.
Polak's involved. Koenig.
The back of the field is completely destroyed, and the middle field is being, oh my god, contacted by the number 15. Yeah, shit is going down is what I wanted to say, but you know, bleeped out.
It's all gone wrong, hasn't it? Schulten's
It has.
Koenig, Silver, Polak's got a drive-through penalty. Rakovic, Viliakovsky's lost his front wing. McLeod's trying to carve his way up through the field. Miller, Cabrera,
The top
Tony.
of the field has survived though. They have stayed intact.
There's Mikhailchik there, ahead of Saracino. Carvalho's dropped back from one position, but he'd like to get away with that. Harry Graham in P4, and behind him is Adam State, who's had, again, a nice clean start. But here we go into the sector 3 for the first time. Carvalho holding the position well in P3. I'm just flicking back through the field to see what else is going on. It's a lot of chaos, though. I'm just looking back through the field. There is a lot of
Situations are still tricky.
I say the Wayne is not going to go away. And Harry Graham's alongside Carvalho for P3 now as they go down the straight for the first time. As Graham's already made the move by looks of things. Of course, no DRS today. It's far too wet for that. But Graham's very, very late. He's going to go completely off the circuit there. He's missed his braking point completely. And he's going to lose the position to not only Carvalho,
if we can go on board with Harry Graham challenging for 3rd position between Rodrigo Carvalho and himself.
I think you're on replay there, unfortunately, there, Chris, as they're starting across the finish line.
I think you're right. I beg your pardon, everyone, the viewers.
That's fine. So we've got Graham dropped back to 4th ahead of Adam State. Philip Schiff has had a great start. He's up to 6 ahead of Alistair Khan, who's in P7 as well. So we've got Sliding Kuzmicik in P8. He slid off. He's dropping down the field quite a bit. There's a bit of contact there as well. Philip Koenig takes advantage of that. Start from the pit lane going off. He's out to 10. Scholten there on the intermediates is not really paying off from it at the moment. He started at P7 in this race. He's dropped down to 13th already.
Yeah. There are a lot of battles going on in the middle field, but in the front field, the first runner, the leader, Bartolomej Mijaskovic, you know, if you want to try yourself, you know, you gotta try. But he's leading for not even 1 second, and Rodrigo Carvalho is gaining some time behind that with 3.1 seconds behind the leaders. It's still a full-on lead for the two of them.
Fiakoski has had his drive-through penalty. He's still got front wing damage and a lot of damage to that car, so he's going to have to pit again. Tomi's just crossed the start. They're all crossing the white line as they're exiting the pits as well. Tomi's crossed the white line.
Well, it's a matter of tire management as well.
I mean,
for those who...
Polak's been hit by McLeod. And we got Polak, who's not only got a stop-go penalty, but also a drive-through penalty as well. So he's got 2 penalties to serve. McLeod's at the back of the field. But at the front of the field, Mikashak is ahead of Sarakino, ahead of Carvalho, and still ahead of Graham. Top 5 still maintaining the same. Khan has now passed the ship going down the back straight there. It's now going to go into start lap 3 of this race. It's absolutely so treacherous. I wouldn't like to be out there today. Need a rudder more than the steering wheel. Koenig is currently 3 wide as they're exiting to the entering the last corner. Ahead of Adamczyk and Tukaj there as well.
They're about to, you know, things are about to go down. Oh my God! What's happening with Koenig? He's flying through the air.
Oh wow! And
holy moly! What happened there?
It's Adamczyk who's... Oh, okay. Let's have a look. I think
he literally went Mark Webber in Le Mans 2001 right there.
That was a really
literally went flying through the air.
Just caught
How
air,
unfortunate.
It didn't even look like he hit anything. He just caught air.
No, but it's, you know, physics. Rfactor 2 physics.
So I'm just going to get back to live reaction. Filikowski's still struggling with no front wing. McLeod spun around again. He's at the back of the field. But as I say, going back to the front, as we've got this great battle here for P13, Oliver Silva, Alistair Poulos there, Bart Slobodzian, and also Max Scholten, who's had a spin. He's now down in 16th on those inters, so he's really struggling now to get the power down on those intermediates. So it's definitely the wet tyre that's the tyre to go at the moment.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can go on board on Adam State in 5th position. He's catching up to Philip Koenig in 6th position. And he is gaining lap by lap, but he isn't quite getting the edge right there. But he might have gotten the aerodynamic advantage here. Adam State here onto the back of Philip Koenig. No, he's not. He's way back past.
Yeah,
but again, the gaps are close. Even the first place runner can't go any slower than he is doing, because he's only 1.5 seconds behind the second place Giuseppe Sarko.
Sarakino,
yes, getting rid of two. Oh, Sarkoni hitting some back drivers. Can we get into the replay there? 20 seconds replay would be enough. That was an epic mistake from both of them.
I didn't quite catch it on the stream, but on my
replay it. 20 seconds. It's epic. But I understand Sarkoni, because he was, you know, completely in the right mood to make that move, but the back marker sticked.
See, at the front, so the gap is still fairly consistent, isn't it? The gap is now 1.1 seconds between Mikashik and Sarakino. Carvalho actually went off at the final corner. Yellow flags around sector 2. P3 ahead of Harry Graham. He's still doing a great job there in P4. He's looking really sharp. His experience is really showing, I think, today. He's looking really, really strong.
True.
In that car.
True
Adam
that.
State doing a great job in P5 as well. You know, for his first time, I believe, in a GPV race, he's doing a really impressive job. You know, he's looking very, very
A
solid.
lot of these guys are impressive in their performance. It's epic.
A nice battle, actually, for P11, actually. You got Slobodsian, Ratkovic as well. Doing a great job actually making a move there on Slobodsian. And Oliver Silva following suit as well. 3 red cars all in the line together. Now having a great scrap, and there's 3 cars actually further behind them as well. 14th, 15th and 16th. Miller, Khan, who's dropped back, and Kazmishik as well. So this is a great midfield scrap, you know, for positions, you know, and obviously not fighting at the sharp end of the field, but having a great amount of fun and great battle nonetheless.
Well, I hope the P1 Bartoles Mijaskovic will have the tires to hold out, because, you know, the race is still, you know, only 17% long. 4 laps have been completed out of 23, and I'm sure we will see a different tale of the entire story that we're seeing now in terms of the beginning. So yeah, let's see.
Again, this scrap rages on. Now from P10, you got Alistair Poulos, who's in P10. You got Adam Schick, who's weaving down the straight in P9 as well, but that's not a problem.
but I'm sure we're gonna get pit stops. Sorry to undercut you, but I'm sure we're gonna get pit stops here, because it's the wiser choice. These tires are gonna deteriorate because a lot of these guys are too inexperienced to control the rears, and they're gonna overheat because of their spinning, and you know, it's gonna be a hell of an end of a race. We have only seen almost 5 laps of this race, and then we're gonna see a hell of an end. That's my prediction, honestly.
Speaking of pit stops, got Brandon Dollar in the pits. I think that's for damage though. But
Nah,
I think
the first person to pit here in terms of being into the lead is the guy that has the most opportunity to win this race. I mean, it's going to be a contest like that, but everyone is going to pit here. But the 2 teammates here are battling together. I mean, Sarkisino and Makakando Cheat. I'm trying still pronouncing that name correctly. But they're battling together. Maybe they should work together instead of battling together in order to gain the most time they need. Maybe later in the race. What do you think?
I think that at the moment they're just doing the sensible thing, just staying on the track, not pushing too hard. The gaps, I mean, for example, look at P3 at the moment. You got the battling there between Carvalho and Graham, as Graham's trying to make a move around the outside. And I think Carvalho's sort of letting him have the move there, actually, as Tito Tommy and Ewan McLeod have DNF'd and retired from the race after 5 laps, which is unfortunate for those guys, but we hope we see them again sometime in the future. Don't forget, we've got 8 more races after this one, spread through the whole of, well, the majority of the year, running up to October. So, as I say, plenty of opportunity for these guys and you guys watching as well to get involved and have a great race here in the Academy Series, and maybe have a career.
But it's a clear message towards the other drivers that they're like, okay, we're the major league here. You know, we're setting the example.
Kuzmierczyk as well has DNF'd as well. And now again, another unfortunate retirement. I'm not sure how many runners we got now. I think we've got about 18 runners now, so a lot of people dropped off. Your Alistair Khan is DNF as well. Polak as well.
But then again, we haven't completed a quarter of the race, and the leading team is 1 and 2 in the first race of the season. So then again, we might concede that the eligibleness of the team is correct.
Sorry to cut off. Philip Schiffer's had off. He's down in P8. He's rejoined the track nice and safely, ahead of Adam Schick and Ratkovic there, who's in 9 and 10. Both doing quite well, because I believe for these two, one of their first drives in the series. So, you know, doing really well. I think anyone who's keeping it on the track for the whole 23 laps has done respectable. No matter where if they finish in the top 10, but they've not really fallen off the track too much, it's still great. You know, it's still great performance. As the rain is now intensifying a little bit, up to 16% intensity, and the track is still 94% wet. It's still very, very treacherous on this racetrack after we just completed another 6th lap.
Well, normally it would be dry, so, you know, these are severely special conditions.
Oh, cars flip in the air again. Adam Schick has done a... If you look at P10, Adam Schick has just flown through the air down this back straight. He's literally a cartwheel through the air and he's still going. I don't even catch it on the stream or catch it on replay, but that I've never, ever... We saw.
Will he go to the pit?
No, he's carrying on. He's carrying on. But
He's carrying on.
He's just literally done some gymnastics down the back straight. And he's now trying to hold off the back of Anastopoulos, who's in P11 at this moment in time. But Adam Schick, I don't know how he's still going properly. That was just an enormous... I've never seen that really happen before. It could be to do with the aero. I'm not sure. That was a real bit of gymnastics there. But he's still holding out to that P10 position.
Well, we've certainly accumulated some retirements. Max Scholten, Durant, Kuzmasikov, Alisar Khan, Jacob Polak. But we're still racing with a lot of these top guys. The top 3, however, hasn't been changed since the start of this race. So there's a factor for you.
I've just noticed Brandon Dollar has actually lost his front wing again. He's going to have to pit again, unfortunately, in this race. But we've got Kaishik there, and again, the gap's still very much the same. 2.2 seconds now between Makaishik and Sorokino. Graham is now pulling away from Carvalho pretty well, and he's got his own space around him, so it's good for him. Adam Sticks.
Well, to be fair, it's a 5-guy race. I mean, the top 2 are really bound together, but if they both make a mistake, the other guys can, you know, can get opportunistic by those mistakes. So it's gonna be a hell of a job to get us home, even for the P1, even for P2.
Watch out for Koenig, because he's actually catching to the back of State really well. So he could.
He's out there. He's aware. He's driving a steadily race and. Trying to make the best of it, and he might make the best of it because he's so focused.
And a really, really good job is Philip Koenig around this racetrack so far, and he's one to watch, particularly because don't forget, we only just started the 8th lap. There's still 15 more laps to go.
Exactly.
This race, so it's a long, long way to go.
Exactly.
And a man of his experience, it could really show as get to.
Max Scholten, has quitted this race though. He DNF'd.
That's right,
probably out of an accident and unrepairable damage, but yeah, unlucky for him.
Nice little scrap as well. Battling P10 with still that battle between Adam Schick, who still seems unaffected by those gymnastics he put on down the back straight last time around. Ahead of Anastopoulos, ahead of Slobodian as well, with Silva trying to keep up with those two, and a very good scrap for 14 and 15. Peter Miller. And on Jinyemi as well, who's looking down the inside into the hairpin and down at turn 5. And it looks like Miller's going to have to fend this time around to go round to the pretty quick 100 miles an hour around the left and then slightly slower right-hander. They're doing really well to keep that on.
But to be honest, the most interesting thing about this race is the teammate comparison between Saracino and the Polish name on first place, which I can't pronounce. I'm gonna try it. The last name is Maciejowskis. Okay, Bartolem Maciejowskis in the first place, but he's leading this race and deservedly. But I have the feeling that Saracino in second place is just, you know, playing tactics. They are well ahead of the competition. They have everything sorted, and they're just sticking positions. And why shouldn't they be? I mean, getting a 1-2 in this race is the most highable honor. So, you know, why should they fight this other position? They know that they are fastest of all of these guys, and they're making use of it.
Well, as I said earlier in the broadcast, the top 2 in this race is entitled to drive for Menno Klonk in the Academy Series race in Australia.
And so that's what they're aiming for.
Oh, and Polak as well, taking a very, very agricultural line to get out the way of the back markers. Don't get him right out of the way, as again he's missing a front wing. But I say
no, but they have the capabilities and they have the opportunity to make that happen. But you know, they are just taking this more serious than the other drivers in the paddock at this rate.
So I'd say if anyone's got any questions in the broadcast, I see 38 if you're still watching the broadcast. Hello, welcome, and I say I hope you're enjoying it so far. We're just under halfway through this race. If we're going to get pit stops, they should come in the next couple of laps, unless it stops raining and dries out. But if you've got anyone got any questions in the chat, I say feel free to ask, and I'll try and answer them as best as possible. And I say if there's anyone out there who is watching and might want to spread the word a little bit about this series, the Academy series, I say feel free to do so. You know, it's open to all out there, all abilities, all levels of experience. So I say it'd be great to see as many of you out there talking about GPV and getting racing here at GPV as possible. That'd be really good to see. I say the top 5 has not really changed, but Koenig is now all over the back pretty much now of Adam State's car, and then we're just going to see what State's defending is going to be like in the next sort of lap or so, because I say Koenig is going to be it's been slowly closing to the back of him, and they got a big gap up to 7th place. Mikel Takaj there.
Yeah, and we're only 40% into our complete race.
Yeah, that battle's still raging on. 10th downwards. You've got Adam Chick there in 10th.
That's a lot of things that are going down still.
Yeah.
9 laps out of 23 complete. And yet, a lot of these drivers are getting into trouble by themselves or by others. But there are a lot of things going on around them. And it's interesting to see where this will lead out to.
So as we see down in this mid-pack, it's really, really good. Really good scrap. Miller, even down to Miller, 14th, 15th. He got a bit of a gap down to Cabrera. He's sort of all on his own a little bit. Hope he'll get himself a mate to play with soon if he catches up to this battle. Just notice Polak there, still without a front wing. He still hasn't pitted. So I'm not sure what really is going on there. He's been driving around without a front wing for quite a while now. We're expecting him to hopefully pit soon, fingers crossed. Looking at the battle at the front now again. Mikajcik, 2 seconds now exactly the gap is as they cross the line between himself and Saracino. With Harry Graham now dropping back a bit. In P3, he's now, 5.7 seconds behind 2nd place. And we got Carvalho there in P4. Again, he's dropping back as well from Graham. They're all sort of spreading themselves out a little bit. But Koenig has passed State. We've missed that on the broadcast, unfortunately. But Philip Koenig.
Yeah, but things are about to spread out evenly, you know? The paces are getting more severely and they're getting more constantly. So obviously the paces are getting more spread out. But then again, the team of Giuseppe Saraconi and Matskovkas are doing really well.
Contact there, sorry, just a bit of like a domino effect. Adam Schick, Anastopoulos and Slibodsan into the hairpin there. There's a bit of Miller and Onjaniemi there. But keeping up with these as well, but it was a bit of contact there.
Well, it's for point scoring position, so.
Sam pits as he puts the pit limiter on a bit early, but it's nice and safe. He probably doesn't know what the pit line is, to be fair. But Shabotsan now pits from P16, and let's see what he's going to do here. Probably going to stick to wet, so I imagine so, because it's still 95% wet, and the rain's getting harder as well. It's 20% wet. Let's see what's going to happen here. In this pit stop, he gets away, still on those wet tyres, but a nice fresh set there for him to play with. And he's going to rejoin in that 16th place. Polak spins off again about that front wing. Gap between the front two, still very solid and consistent. 1.5 seconds now, so the gap has closed between these drivers. Don't forget, there's no teammates here, of course. Everyone's fighting them for themselves as Saracino hits from the second place, so he's going to try and do maybe an undercut here on Mikajcik, and he pits him really, really well. He has a really good entry to the pits. No one else. Seems
There we go with
that's
pit stops. We acknowledged that the pit stops were gonna happen. Hopefully for him, it is gonna be the head of advance, but he's gonna change into, I believe, another set of intermediates.
No, that's wet tyres there.
Wet tires indeed.
Blue tyres, the wet tyre.
Yep.
And he comes out a nice. The good thing is, to catch actually pits as well. He's got clear track ahead of him. You know, there's no one disturbing his concentration. He can go at the pace he wants to
Sure,
go at.
but what will the P1 do at this moment? Will he go into the pits? Because he hasn't got fresh tires, so let's see what he will do.
Hey, well,
Bartom Leach, yeah, I'm not able to pronounce his name yet still, but he's still in the advance. He is able to turn his race around by going into the pits now, getting a fresh set of tires. But will he do so?
oh, it's
That's
Brandon
the
Donovan with
question.
tyres. Tukash has spun into turn
He
one.
should be. He should go to the pits now.
Rejoined ahead of behind Adam Schick, but right in front of me and rejoined. A bit dangerous, really, but you know, it's
But
difficult.
is he going to the pits now? I think he is. He should get some fresh tires now.
Find out in a minute or
Has
two
to
as he rounds the
follow
hairpin.
what is, you know? So, is he going to the pits? I suppose he is. Is he going to the pits?
I don't think he's going to. I
Yeah,
think he's
he
gonna carry
should
on.
be.
He's carrying on.
He is not. He's carrying on. Okay. So either I'm a stupid idiot or you are, but let's.
Well,
let's
if I am,
see.
I'll get my coat and leave
No,
you to it.
no. I might am, but you know, he has some worn-out tires that aren't going to make his stint work, in my opinion. And he's gonna get outsmarted by his teammate that has gone into the pits, and we're just gonna see in time how that works out.
Adam State pits. So he's
Yeah,
in now and see where
good
he's going to
stuff.
come out. He'll come out because I think the guy in P6 pitted as well. Actually, no, Takash it was. So Takash lost more time as well. He's down more places, so he's going to be comfortable here for State. I think as Schiff also pits as well.
Yeah, the rain definitely puts some strain, you know, on the strategy.
Superb. But Takash as well. Yellow flag around him as well. So someone's gone off around him. It might be just round this corner he's going around now. And there it is. It's Cabrera. Cabrera there has had a spin. But says hopefully we'll get out the way nicely and let him pass. Harry Graham now in P2 at the moment. Carvalho in 3. Koenig doing a great job in 4 and closing up on the 2 ahead of him as well. So that will be interesting to see how this battle develops in the next few. Saracino still in P5. He's just passed the car and across. Polak spun again. I think Polak, in my opinion, is proven to be a little bit of a danger on track because he keeps spinning every lap and he's still not hitting his damage. I'll keep an eye on him because he might be in a bit of trouble by the stewards if he doesn't repair that damage.
Well, he's 4 laps down. So
Schiff and Adam Schick having a scrap here for 7th. Oliver Silva there in 9th position as well. They're having a good close scrap together in these wet conditions. As I say, the conditions at the moment, we're more just over halfway through this race as well. The rain still not easing up at all. It's going to be very wet for the whole of this race now. So I think people are going to pit. If they are going to pit, I think they're going to stick on the wet tyres and go to the end from there, I believe now. As,
yeah,
we see
well,
Philip
most
Koenig
of the
pit.
majority of the front runners have gone to the pits and have gone into a new set of extremely wet. But it's, you know, it's about to, you know, acknowledge how the rest of the race will fall out.
It's
The
Koenig
track
pit.
conditions are seriously weird, but you know, it's about these drivers that hopefully know how to obtain these conditions and get around to this.
I say Koenig
It's
has
all about tire
rejoined.
strategy.
Koenig has rejoined. He's well ahead of Adam State. So Koenig's done a great strategy there regarding the undercut. And I say for you guys watching at home, put your predictions in. See who's going to maybe do well in this race or win this race as well. And and find out if your predictions come out of it in the come correct in the end. Mikajic's looking really good. Saracino, of course, has pitted. He's putting in some personal best laps now, so he's trying to aim to close the gap down to the race leader and hopefully come out if Mikojic pits to see whether he still comes out in the lead or not in this race.
Exactly that. I mean, basically we're just halfway in this race.
Yeah, just under 10 laps to go here. We're closing into
Exactly.
to 9 laps to go actually now, as Mikojic will round the final corner one more time.
Yeah, but a lot of these things can change in the following 10 laps. No, I'm sure that we're gonna see a different finishing line than the line that we're seeing right.
So Polak has actually now pitted, so thankfully, hopefully we'll repair his damage now. Fingers crossed, I hope he has. Anyway, it doesn't... Actually, no, I don't think he has. Oh, no, he has, and he's crashed in the pit lane wall. And he's put the medium tyres on. Well, no wonder he's going to be crashing all over the pit lane. He's going to be spinning like a top all the
Medium
way
tires.
around.
In these wet conditions, you're putting on medium tires.
And he's... yeah, he's... I think he's still learning the system, the way the game works.
What a
potentially, but he's stuck on...
Pillock. Seriously, what a pillock. But, yeah, we're looking more towards the front of the race, and Harry Graham is still, he's 10 seconds off the lead. I mean, basically this is an open deal for the Polish guy, Mikachowski's.
Well, I say
running
into
into
on the
first
island.
place.
I think the way Mikajicik will run now, you know, he's got Slobodsian ahead of him. It's just if he just keeps it on the island, he's got a very good chance of winning this race, as we all know. You know, he's running a bit wide there, but as long as you don't spin it or run off and lose a load of time, he's basically got this in the bag. But I'm not sure if
It could happen. I mean, it's Academy, for crying out loud. I mean, it could.
Oh, we got a problem here for Ship. Schiff has lost his front wing somewhere on the circuit, and he's now running off the circuit now. And he's going to have to pit for repairs, because we've got a rule is very common rule. If you get a front wing knocked off, you have to pit within, I think it's on that lap. So
Yeah.
he's gonna have to pit for damage on that one. He's just requested a pit stop. So yeah, he's just ruined his race by making an error somewhere, as someone spun ahead of him. That's Polak again on those medium tires.
Well, the lap times are dropping each lap around, whilst the tires are obviously deteriorating. So
it's always difficult, as we've got a yellow flag as well somewhere on the circuit. Just flicking through as well, as I've seen Rakovic just exits the pits on those wet tyres. He's just got a car lapping him there. We're on the, as we say, we're on the 15th lap now. We end at lap 16 at the end of this one. Mikajicik still do a great job just carving his way through the lap traffic, as we got Slobodsian ahead of him, and ahead of him Ogiemi. As Harry Graham and Carvalho still within about 2 seconds of each other there, going into turn 5 as we see it. Saracino and Koenig in P4 and P5, they're very well spread out, as well as Adam State, who's in pretty much a race of his own completely, but it's still an impressive performance. You know, Adam State, first race in, you know, 15 laps he's done, not done a single mistake the whole race. It looked really, really solid. So I'll be having words with him after the race just to see what he's done in the past, really, because I always say, when I message a lot of these people before the event, try and get them racing, the stories we hear is fantastic. You know, where these people have raced before, what sims they've raced before. It is a fascinating story some people do tell, you know. So it's some people do real racing as well, like karting in particular. So it is really, really good to see what stories have people had in their past, you know, sim racing, and get everyone together as well. It is really, really good to hear and see. But I think Mikajicik's had a mistake, because the gap's now down to 4.5 seconds. I think I'll see if I can catch it on a replay, but I think Mikajicik has had a spin, and now the gap is actually pitting. He's in the pits, so Mikajicik's now making his move. Has he made the move too late to keep the lead of this race? Obviously, Graham and Carvalho will take the lead provisionally, But Mikhail now pitting after making that spin. And we're going to watch Saracino. I think Saracino is going to take the provisional lead. If everyone has to make a pit stop in this race, Saracino will take the lead of this race as he crosses start-finish line now. And yeah, he's already passed. He's already passed. So Saracino takes the provisional lead of this race if Harry Graham and Carvalho make a stop. I say Graham's getting held up in the traffic. He passes Ojanyemi. He passes somebody else there as well. Looks like Peter Miller he passes. And now he's got clear track ahead of him. Carvalho has to pass the same two guys. Saracino 7 seconds ahead of the leader for so long of this race. Makoshi now down in 4th.
Yeah, but let's see what's gonna unfold, because it's still uncertain what's gonna happen with the strategies on all of these.
Indeed it is.
Oof. Rodrigo Carvalho cutting off fellow. Holy moly.
You'll see a good battle as well, but actually a bit further back. 7th, 8th and 9th, Silva, Tukaj and Adam Schick. This battle's still raging on, and they're still going out there and still giving it their best shot. And still, again, impressive performances. Silva actually the boss of a Formula Challenge team this year. I believe it's Go Team Racing he's the boss of, and he's also their reserve driver as well this year. So getting some much handy experience in this race. And
yeah, but to be honest, Harry Graham might have been the jack into the box this race, because he has a 4-second clear lead of the number 2 guy, Rodrigo Carvalho, and he has the race in his pocket as long as he keeps it together.
We got a car off again. Polak rejoins at the hairpin. Again, he goes off for the 18th time this race, or something to that extent. Anyways, he's going to spin off a lot. But I say, very much learning the hard way this race is Polak. But hopefully we'll see him on everybody here in Australia, if they don't have a contract already, as we see a car jump into the pits. I think that might have been Polak. And I say Graham there, 3.9 second lead, or 4 second lead now as he exits turn 3. Goes on to the way up to turn 5, down towards the hairpin.
Yeah, but by the looks of it now, Harry is gonna win this race.
Well, potentially. It's still a long way to go. It's still like 6
long way
laps
to go. 7 laps. I mean, he has clearly thought this race out in the entirety, and he's making use of it. I mean, I can't seem to figure out why he should lose 5 seconds in a couple of 6 laps. His advantage is only gaining, so I'm just accumulating onto that knowledge. And Harry Graham is looking forward to win this race.
Speaking of looking forward, Tukaj past Silva, running up to the hairpin, but he's locked it up. He's broke too late. Silva's going to get the position back again. Tukaj might get the run up on into the final corner, but it looks like that's a missed opportunity for Mikhail there. As they go into in and out of the last corner, but Silva holds that position. Adam Schick runs wide out the final corner. That's not the most lively experience he's had in this race, that is for sure. As we see a car in the pits.
But we should commentate the front of the race, which is between Harry and Rodrigo.
There's still a comfortable gap, and Graham's actually pulling away, a 5-second gap.
So
always
going quite through though. Who was that?
Miller has a bit of an off through the hairpin. Saracino as well. Nice gap there. He's still got that gap to Mikhail. Mikhail's actually close up a little bit by about a second, but the gap's still 6 seconds. It's a long way for him to catch up this race. But I think you're absolutely right, actually. Harry Graham might have put on an absolute masterstroke by not pitting. Likewise with Carvalho.
Yeah, well, the thing is that he needs our attention, is that he pulled out 1.5 seconds in the last lap alone. He is controlling this race. He should deserve the attention. He is going to win this race by a long shot because of his, well, probably, competitive, strategic insight. At least he planned this race. This race went out perfectly for him. And we're going to see where it lands him.
The biggest scrap at the moment is still that battle between Silva and Tukaj, 7th and 8th. They're still scrapping away as they exit onto the back straight. Now, so Tukaj got a great run. It's like a replay of what happened last lap. Tukaj has already got the straight line speed,
the differences are huge.
so no DRS, of course, because it is too wet for that. But Takagi again passes down the straight, and this time breaks in time. Silver gets very, very close to the back of his car, but Takagi now makes the move up to P7. So that's a position gain now. As I just see actually shift further back P15.
Yeah.
Shift
Well,
past
actually, number 2 guy, Carvalho, actually brought the distance back to 1.5 seconds the last lap. It's only 5.4 seconds right now. There are only 5.5 more laps to go in order for Carvalho P2 to take this win from Graham. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. What about you?
I don't know. It really depends on the traffic, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
If someone holds up Parry or someone holds up, it could really. Cavallo actually goes onto the grass.
It could all be into the momentum. In the
Polak's holding up Cavallo there, and he goes off the circuit yet again. Whereas Polak goes facing the wrong way. Saracino there, Rakoshi there in P4 as well. But yeah, Polak's causing all sorts of problems for these drivers. Has to get out, in out the way, and it's just causing havoc. It might be just the wet conditions, but it's not.
Well, I just told you all that the difference between Harry Graham and Rodrigo Carvalho was 5.4 seconds. After sector 1 in the 19th lap, it's 7.7 seconds.
Yeah.
So Rodrigo lost 2.5 seconds only in that sector 1 alone. It's basically clear what's gonna happen here, but it has been an eventful race. And well, maybe we haven't seen the entirety yet of the surprises, but a lot of things can happen and will happen in the top 10. But we'll see.
Well, we'll see. We just saw Oliver Silva actually have a spin there, going into the very, very tight left-hander, going into sector 3 there before the back straight. So he's had a spin.
It's kind of wet down there. I mean, a lot of guys probably will spin.
But I said the lead at the front, I should say now 5.1 seconds. So Cavallo's sort of managing the situation somewhat. Ahead, still with Saracino. So top 4, top 5, still the same. No real changes happening there. It's really in the mid-pack that all the action is at the moment as Adamczyk runs wide out the final corner for P8.
Yeah.
So Silva now trying to get a little bit of time on him before the end of start finish straight. Still 1.2 seconds there, the gap.
Still
Cabrera
6.4 seconds between Rodrigo and Graham.
Cabrera's made a position up. His car stands to Poulos on that lap. As Rakovic as well, P12, he's gaining above Sand 30. This is probably the best battle actually on the track. This is battle for 10, so they're on a good scrap. And always learning, and that's the important thing. Is Pelak again, not just seen on the circuit.
Well, it has been a great race. It's been a sportive race. A lot of guys that have given the room that a lot of other guys deserved. But yeah, it has been a great race since so far, and maybe the end is still to come, and therefore the.
So we've got 17 runners still in this race. People at DNF, Brandon Dollar, Max Scholten, who tried it intermediate, so actually looked okay, but obviously one mistake and he had nowhere to go but the wall. Kuzmicic, Alistair Khan, Timo Tomey as well. In DNF, Ewan McLeod and Philippe Vujakovski was the first man to DNF in this race. So we've got now 2.5 laps to go, and Harry Graham now still bearing down there on Cabrera. He's actually P10, but a lap down. So that just shows how good these guys at the front have been. Just shows how chaotic this race has been. As he makes the move now down the inside of Cabrera, so he down the back straight once again. I say as we cross the line this time around, there'll be 2 laps to go in this race.
Graham Carroll actually getting, accompanied by his teammate. Hopefully that doesn't end up into disaster, but his teammate is going into the inside, makes the move stick, but Graham Carroll is going into the inside again. Or I mean Harry Graham.
I was going to say I don't think Graham Carroll will enter this race.
Oh,
I don't think Language, please. I don't think Harry Graham also has the a teammate in this race either, you know. But they got the same coloured car, but there's no teammates in this race as Carvalho.
Harry's still going into the front though, with a lead of 4.5 seconds, but it's shifting. It was 7.5 seconds last lap, 6.5 seconds the lap before, and it's now 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely coming. It's changing all the time, and that's the thing. You see, every lap, you know, you get to see it moves. The pendulum swings one way then the other. So it's a fascinating strap all the way up and down this grid. I've just seen that car. No, I thought the car was in the pits, but that is not the case. As wow, we see a move there on in Yemi, making a big old lunge from P12. Makes a lunge, runs off the circuit, and contact there. Anastopoulos has been tagged by Shibotzian as they make a bit of a mess of that, but no real harm done, I must say. But Ojanyemi gets away with that lunge he made.
Well, a lot of digital damage done.
Yes, you could say that for sure. But Ojanyemi gets away with that. P12, Shibotzian, and
Then again, the lead of the race, 3.1 seconds. Last lap around it was 6.5. So I'm sure that Harry Graham has lost out a few bits of seconds compared to Rodrigo Carvalho. Here we go, 3.1 seconds, the gap, and it's only 2 laps ahead to win this.
Yeah, I say as they cross the line this time around, it's going to be 1 lap to go.
Sure is.
As Graham there, but the gap definitely coming down. 2.4 seconds now. But Carvalho has to get past these 2 back markers. Even if
I get the feeling that Rodrigo Carvalho is gonna win this race. I don't know why, but
you going to put bet money on that?
I don't know. Brexit money, sure. I'm gonna bet Brexit money, but you know, Carvalho is gonna go for it. Graham is gonna defend his position because he's 2.6 seconds ahead of the second place for Rodrigo Carvalho, but it's going to be a tense battle because the edges are slight.
It is, you know, the gap now 2.2.
Oh my god,
so
the engines are smoking, actually.
Graham is holding on to this, but the gap is coming down pretty rapidly. It's like
Carvalho
severely the tyres a bit more, I think. But Saracino, don't roll him out because he's only 6 tenths away from the back of Carvalho.
Yeah, but 3 seconds in 1 lap. I mean, that's next to impossible, but the engines are smoking here of the front runners.
And you can see, I mean, if you keep an eye on Graham, you can see how much Rekovic is actually faster on those fresh tyres. You know, he could pass him if he wanted to, but I don't think he's going to want to interfere with the leader potentially. But you can see he's got the speed of that car and could probably pass Harry Graham if he was a lap down and wanted to.
Well, we're going to see we're in the 4th last corner. We're going to have 1 more straight, well, really big straight of 1300 meters in front of us. And then we're going to see who is going to be the best of the race. This sort of sprint race is 23 laps. Rodrigo Carvalho going up for once more, 1.178 seconds behind this, and he's going to go for...
The back marker pulled out the way as well,
God.
but Graham now breaking for the hairpin for the last time, and to be fair, no-stop strategy has paid off really well for Harry Graham, and he's going to come around the final corner.
He's going to win.
And win
Graham
this race.
is going to win.
So Harry Graham here will take the win here at Shanghai. A brilliant performance there. No stop strategy. Worked an absolute treat in the end for being P4 for a lot of the start. Carvalho comes across the line P2. Saracino P3 and Mikhaishik there P4. Brilliant battle there by those 4 guys for the whole race. Philip Koenig there will come across the line P5. He did a really solid job as well, considering he started from the pit lane as well in this race. Finishing P5, really good job from Adam State, a bit further back, but P6, no complaints whatsoever by him. A really good job from him.
Yeah, an eventful race to say the least.
Yeah,
a lot of these guys that made a lot of good places back onto the grid started with that, you know, they were starting, but it was an eventful race.
It was for sure, and those guys at the front really made it entertaining, so really good job from him. We got Takaj actually He's going to come across line 7. He's a bit further down up the road, you know. He's about 40 seconds behind Adam State, but again, solid drive from him. And he got involved. I think he got involved at the start of the race. Well, so you know, to recover up to P7, that's a really, really good job. As he's actually got a pass. Polak making his name in this race, that's for sure. Again, we're missing front wing yet again. But he's going to cross the line in P7. As I think we got a couple more cars to cross the line on the lead lap. Oliver Silva is going to cross the line in P8. You know, he's done a solid job, you know, respectable.
Yeah.
He's sort of always been in the middle of the pack. He's been uneventful, but got some really good battles actually in this race. And he's going to come P8 in this race as he rounds the final corner nice and gently.
Exactly that.
That's like P8. And the last person on the lead lap, Piotr Adamczyk, who's done some dance moves down the back straight here at China, doing the front flip earlier on, but now cross line P9, you know, one of the most spectacular moves I've ever seen in the broadcast. If you missed that on the stream, watch that back, because that was really fascinating. I must say, I had a bit of a giggle with that. Rakovic was P10, Francis Cabrera was P11, Arjaniemi P12, Philip Schiff 13th, Slobodsian 14th, Anas Napoulos in 15th, Peter Miller in 16th, Jan Polak, our last finisher, in 17th, and our DNFs, Brandon Dollar, Max Scholten, Kuzmierczyk, Alistair Khan, Timo Tomey there as well, Ewan McLeod, and Philippe Kwiatkowski, our first DNF of this race, in P24. And of course, Carsten van Eyck, who actually had a technical problem before the race, he had to leave this race. Unfortunately, it was out of his hands. His computer just couldn't handle the fact it was moving into the race session. So unfortunately, he had to go before the start. But that was the event, and I'll say I hope you all enjoyed it. You know, it's a fascinating race in many respects. You know, a lot of different talking points definitely to come out of this event.
Definitely.
But I hope you all enjoyed it, the stream at home, and I hope you enjoyed it as well, everybody watching. Let's just say, really good event, and I'm now just going to take you through what's coming up now at GPVWC. So tomorrow, and in the upcoming days and weeks as well, but tomorrow is the Formula Challenge test as well, so good chance for FC teams, including my drivers, go me, go Crossfire, to go and have a good race, a good test actually before the season starts. March the 6th is the first league race of 2019, and that's a Formula Challenge race at Australia in Melbourne. So keep your eyes on that. This Friday coming, we got our first overcut of 2019 as well. Lee Davidson, Ben Harrell, they'll be hosting the and having a good long discussion about everything to do with Super League this year. That'd be a great insight into what's going on this year as well. Fantastic. So yeah, and thank you to all our sponsors as well. ACR Saxby for supporting the series as much as they have. They've been fantastic. All the admins, all the staff at GPV to keep everything running as smooth as possible as well. iSimRS as well. Fantastic. You know, it's fantastic with all the sponsorship they've done, all the logos. They've even got their own team now, thanks to Mad Otter in the chat. Ian Berryman there as well. Got his own team there as well. So we've seen a lot of them this year as well. And just everyone keep up the great work here, and hopefully we'll all enjoy 2019. And of course, the next Academy race we will have is March the 19th. Get it in your diaries. That's also at Australia. And if anyone wants to get involved or need help with the league, I am personally always on Discord. Well, not always on Discord, but always available to chat on Discord. If you enter the GPWC Discord, ask for my help, or message me, or message anyone in the Academy chat. We'll help you get started. We'll help you get involved. As long as you got Rfactor 2, we'll help you get on that grid. And say we have up to 40 cars. There's 8 more races this year, but the next one is March the 19th, and we are more than happy to help anybody get on the grid. Just ask in the chat, ask in the forums, ask in Discord. We'll get you on the grid one way or the other if you wanted to. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in the booth. I'll say we may see you again at some point. Just have to.
Well, I was kind of
behave
rusty
yourself-
after
behave yourself a
1.5
bit.
years not having done any commentary, but you know, it's all okay.
Well, I hope
Thank you for
there's
having me.
some people out there who've enjoyed your commentary out there as well. Your first time at GPVWC.
Yeah, I'm sure one or two have enjoyed it, but no,
Fingers
it's
crossed. Fingers crossed.
it's all okay. So thanks for having me, and you know,
No
let's
worries
see,
at all. And I say, I hope you guys at home have enjoyed it as well.
yeah.
And I say, I will be back on commentary definitely for the next round, March the 19th at Australia.
Hopefully, me
say-
too, and definitely let us know which team will be the more successful, the McLaren Renault team or the Red Bull Honda team. What are your odds?
Racing Point all the way, mate.
Oh, Racing Point! Holy moly! Okay, that's a blast. Okay, I'm gonna.
I've got to get my brownie points somehow.
Yeah, Racing Point for India. Holy moly! I mean,
Fantastic,
I even thought you were gonna say Williams, but okay, Racing Point. There we go.
Unlike them, my turn up.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will leave it there. Also, big thanks also to Argo Teder as well for being our cameraman this evening.
Yep.
And also for Chris Williams as well, who did the race directory for the event as well, and all the great work that he does and everyone does behind the scenes as well. Until next time, I'll see you again March 19th, the next Academy race. Until then, bye for now.
I want to leap over buildings, want to fly over the shores, faster than a lightning flash, rushing through the cool night air. So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero. With fearless thoughts, emotions swirled, I wanna be the man that saves the world. So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero.
Today I am proud to be able to talk to you about the FSIM 2.0, the next cockpit from iSimRS. So, without further ado, let's have a look at what's new and what's changed. The FSIM 2.0 features a nose on a sliding rail for on-the-go adjustment, a newly introduced fully adjustable headrest for your comfort. The wheel and pedal boards are fully adjustable, making sure they fit you perfectly and are pre-drilled for all of the latest hardware. The cockpit supports up to triple screen monitor setups without the worry of wobble or vibration. The FSIM 2.0 puts you in the Formula Racing position for that unique driving experience. Head over to iSimRS.com to find out more and pre-order now and get £100 off of the recommended retail price. Only available at iSimRS.com.